Good evening. The correct time is now 7 o'clock. Requirements of the Sunshine Law have been met. This meeting was advertised in Burlington County Times on January the 7th, 2024. Electronic notice was given to the NJAC 5:39-1.5. We will now start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now have a moment of silence. Roll call.
Committeewoman Berkeley.
Present.
Committeeman Carr.
Here.
Committeewoman Mungo. Committeewoman Wright. Mayor Henry.
Present.
Also present, Township Solicitor, Township Administrator Clerk, Assistant Township Administrator, Police Chief, Fire EMS Chief.
We will now have executive session. Resolution number 6/11/2024. Resolution authorizing the Township Committee and supporting staff to meet in private session, authorizing exclusion of the public from a portion of the meeting dealing with specific issues requiring non-public discussion, attorney-client privilege, litigation, West Hampton Realty LLC versus Township of West Hampton, West Hampton Hospitality LLC versus Township of West Hampton, tax appeals, and personnel. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Carr.
Yes.
Mungo.
Yes.
Mayor Henry.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Approval of minutes. May 21st, 2024, regular meeting minutes.
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Carr.
Yes.
Mungo.
Yes.
Mayor Henry.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
May 21st, 2024, executive session minutes. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Carr.
Yes.
Mungo.
Yes.
Mayor Henry.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Open meeting and public comment on agenda items only. Remember to state your name and address for the record. Reminder, this is for comment only. With no comment, do we have a motion to close?
Move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ordinance, first reading, 9/2024, an ordinance of the Township of West Hampton repealing and replacing West Hampton Code Chapter 2009 entitled Stormwater Control. Do we have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Carr.
Yes.
Mungo.
Yes.
Mayor Henry.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Payment of vouchers. This resolution approves the payment of bills through 6/11/2024. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion for the payment of vouchers.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Carr.
Yes.
Mungo.
Yes.
Mayor Henry.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
96-24, resolution to approve consent agreement.
Move.
I'm sorry?
Move. I move it.
I got you.
Second.
Any discussion?
Move.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Attorney?
Berkeley.
Yes.
Carr.
Yes.
Mungo.
Yes.
Mayor Henry.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Consent agenda resolution. Resolution, the consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any items requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Roll call.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Carr,
Yes.
Mungo,
Yes.
Mayor Henry.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
We will open the meeting for public comment. Please remember to state your name and address for the record. Reminder, this is for comment only. With no comment, motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Dates to remember, next Township Committee meeting will be January 25th at 7. Land Development Board meeting, June 25th, I'm sorry, at 7 p.m. Land Development Board meeting, July 3rd at 7 p.m. Historic Commission, June 26th at 7 p.m. Recreation Committee meeting, July 10th at 7 p.m. Committee liaison reports.
I have none.
You have one?
You gonna say something?
I was just going to make a comment in public comment, but there was no public comment, so.
Oh, it was two of them. We
Do you want me to go
were
ahead?
getting through, yeah.
You
You can't hear me?
I'll speak into the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that better? You
That's
good now?
probably the only
All right.
time I've ever heard that you can hear me. I'm sorry.
So on the agenda tonight was a resolution approving a consent agreement. Just want to remind the committee as well as the public that the township has an obligation to protect the privacy of its employees from unwarranted invasion. And the only comment that can be made in response to any inquiries about that is that the matter has been resolved in the, to the satisfaction of both the township and the employee.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to note that Committeewoman Berkeley, the mayor, and I, Deputy Assistant Jones, attended Holly Hill's dedication yesterday to the new wing to Dr. Vanessa Nichols. It was very nice. It was a nice capstone to her 26 years of service to the school and Board of Education. I also like to congratulate all the 8th graders graduating today. That's all I have, sir. Thank you.
You got something?
Yes, I agree.
Got it. Got it.
I'll repeat what he said.
Just do a good job.
Last night, the three of us, the mayor, Mr. Carr and I attended the West Hampton Board of Education ceremony to honor Dr. Vanessa Nichols. She had been on the board for 26 years. And we don't know anyone who's been on the board that long. She had gotten awards from the state, and they dedicated the new wing for not the middle school, the intermediate school to her. So there was a plaque, and it was a complete surprise. She had no idea. Her whole family was there, and a lot of the old board members and old faculty, and it was very great, and she was a terrific board member. She had been a board president for many, many years, so it was a wonderful evening, and they had invited us and invited lots of people. And I would like to agree in second with our attorney. It was a difficult decision, long decision that we had to make, and not difficult, I shouldn't say that. It was something, a consent means both parties consent to things. And I am very pleased with the outcome. Thank you.
I guess I'm last. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. One, I'm glad that everyone came out and everyone's here. I think there seems to be a misnomer sometimes that we don't want anybody here. That's not the fact. I don't mind seeing people here every week. Like, you can come and ask questions, hold people accountable, and we'll answer your questions the best way we possibly can. I think that it wasn't too long ago, when I sit with all of this, it wasn't too long ago that I was able to sit out in the pews and have an opinion about certain things or whatever that may be. And that's what it's all about. But you have to keep in mind that, one, I'm proud of the committee members because everyone really worked together to try to do what's best for our community. And I feel like we did that. But more importantly, we had to hold on to the fact that we actually have a fiduciary responsibility to try to do what's best for the township. And we took an oath to do that, which sometimes gets in the way and it's a little bit difficult, but we have to be reminded of that. And I thank you guys for being patient with us. Whatever your opinion is, you don't have to agree, you could disagree. That's kind of what this whole thing is about. Like, that's what the world or what the community or however you want to break it down is all about. But you also got to remember that, listen, everybody, in fairness, right, like, everybody's time comes and goes as far as who's going to be here, who's not going to be here. I've never said that. Listen, if you want to make a change in your community, there's one thing that you have to do, and that's just put your name in the hat and take that step and be able to do that. But you're going to be faced with some challenges, some difficult decisions, good, bad, or indifferent. And I welcome anybody to join in that part. Secondly, you don't have to be on the committee to make a change in your community. Anything that you suggest that is something that we're able to do that makes sense, I think the people who have talked to me, especially privately or however we've talked, have seen that if it makes sense, then I'm all in to do that. So whatever we can do to continue to uplift our community and to continue to do the right thing, whether it's, people running it to be up here, which I totally, wish that we could do or more people could do, right? But we have to make sure that we're putting people in a good position to do that as well, because sometimes if people who come up here are attacked and they see what happens to us, then we lose good people who may want to be a part of the community as well. So with that being said, again, thank you all for coming out. I hope you're able to hear me back in the back room. We went through 2 public comments. Oh, okay. I apologize, guys.
All right, I don't get to speak a lot, so not used to this. Are you better now? Craig, everybody can hear me? All right, so the statement I made was that the township has an obligation to protect the privacy rights of employees from unwarranted invasion. There's a item on the agenda tonight that was the approval of a consent agreement. The only comments that the committee can make of that was that it was a consensual agreement that was resolved to the satisfaction of both parties, both the employee and the township.
Maureen, it's personnel. You should know as well as us that we can't discuss personnel. You was up here. Yeah, we can't. The seat's tough. Maureen, you've been elected. You know that we cannot discuss personnel.
So Mayor, do you want to reopen public comment or adjourn the meeting?
Yeah, come on up.
So first we should have a motion to reopen public comment.
Reopen public comment.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Sandy?
Yes, ma'am.
So public comment is now open.
Something, we would have to have Todd's permission too. They don't understand that. What?
Not say his name.
No.
Oh,
But I'm saying,
Yeah.
just him, yes.
All right.
We would have to have the person's permission.
Ann Maston, 10 Dunes Court. I understand that nothing can be said because it is, private matter in terms of, human relations type stuff. What I do find very hard to understand is why this meeting wasn't rescheduled when there was a WMS graduation ceremony. There was plenty of time to have the meeting rescheduled, and I think the attendance here would have been a lot greater had the meeting been rescheduled. That's what I don't understand.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm Yvonne Enriquez
Hey, Ms. Rodriguez.
at 16 Devonshire. I'm not contagious. I just,
You all the way over there. We good.
my question, my concern is actually going to be directed to the chief. Because when you were inaugurated, you said that your main concern is for the safety of West Hampton. And we have a severe issue, which is called speeding. The speed limits on these roads in the residential areas are not being respected at any level. People are flying, especially on Devonshire. They are just flying like this. It was a raceway. Someone is going to get hurt, and it almost occurred. Stop signs are a waste of time. You could just go ahead and take them down because no one is observing them. They just go straight through them as if nothing. There's kids right now that are standing on the corners waiting for their buses, and there's cars that are flying through those corners not stopping, not looking, doing nothing. I think the major issue is speeding. So my question is, what is on the agenda? What do you foresee to try to control this issue that is chronic all over West Hampton? Thank you.
Anyone else have a comment?
Malcolm Whitley, 4 Dover Court. So I wasn't going to say anything, but I understand that there's been an agreement, so the township you still achieve what you wanted to do in getting rid of Todd, but yet Todd doesn't lose with the screw that you were trying to put into him. So I still think it's ridiculous and disgusting what you've done to him. I think this township still loses even though Todd doesn't. We lose Todd, from what he's going to be doing and what this township has. And I think it's disgusting that she still sits there.
We're not doing that today.
I will do it, unless you want to remove me. So I think it's disgusting what she's done.
No, but
and
Sarah,
continues
we're not attacking people today.
No.
We're not going to do that today. We don't want to attack. We're not going to attack today. I don't want to attack people today. Not today.
She works for us. This is public comment. It's my comment. It's disgusting that she still gets to sit here.
Fair enough.
Screws this township constantly, again and again and again, and none of you do anything about it.
Okay. Who's next?
Hi, my name is Audrey Kerstetter. I have 3 things. What the man said, I agree to. Todd's been here for a very long time. My kids are 32 years old. We've been with him a long time, and before that, we helped him. Number 2, anything going on with the homeless shelter? We were supposed to get notified a couple of meetings ago. Have not received 1 email about anything from the county, from anybody. Don't know what's going on with that. Number 3, I believe it's Pennington Lane that backs up to Dover Road. Somebody's having parties. Last year we complained about them. The cops were there. Another party happened sometime last month, I want to say, and the speakers are evidently shooting right up to Dover Road. Maybe he can turn them and let the neighbors that he lives by hear his music, but we can't sit in our backyards when it's going on. I would like somebody, if I have to call the cops, I will, but I hope it doesn't come down to that. I think everybody's allowed to have a party, but respect your neighbors.
Absolutely.
He's respecting his neighbors that he lives next door to, because I rode in front of his house. They do not hear the noise. We hear all the noise. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lori Hustis, 14 Canobie Drive. This is just for the police. This past weekend, I actually called the non-emergency number because on, right where Tellerwood is, coming down my way towards Domino's, there was a bunch of guys on quads. It was dark. It was sunset. And there was no lights. They were doing wheelies. There was cars behind them. It might be something to monitor. I don't know, but I did call. I don't know if anybody else did call. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure. But it was a situation where there was cars behind them that were like stopped, and somebody could have got hit. So I called it in. I didn't know what to do, but I called the non-emergency number. Is that what I should have done? I guess. I don't know, but. Oh, see, my husband said to do that, and I didn't know. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Now close for public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
So we'll go through if anybody has any comments to make as far as the committee. Anybody have any additional comments or no?
Need one for the Board of Ed, right? Yes.
I was thinking while you were talking, consent means 2 parties. Both parties have a right to privacy. We cannot tell you something about another person unless they give us permission to tell you. Imagine if you told your best friend something you didn't want anyone else to know, and they turned out and blabbed to everyone in your neighborhood. That would be wrong. You'd be very upset, wouldn't you? There's nothing bad to share, but we just don't have the ability to share with you. And that's why you elected us. You trust us. And I think anyone who knows me knows that I am not a rubber stamper. I judge everything by what I think is right, and this is what I thought was right. If I thought it was wrong, I would vote no. So please, just trust us. Trust us because you know us. Thank you.
To address some of the questions, the speeding, yes, we've talked about this several times. The problem is the speeding is us. It's not outsiders speeding in our community, it's us speeding in our community. So the police, we can do what we can, they can do what they can, but also, guys, let's have a conversation with our neighbors. Like, I've seen a couple people speed down streets while we had kids playing basketball, and I've given like the slow down thing, because obviously we want to protect our kids, but, you know, obviously letting the cops know, but also let's keep what makes a good community is let's keep each other in check too, because the speeding is coming from us. It's not coming from people from the outside, it's coming from our own residents that are speeding through our town. 8th grade graduation. Two reasons. I'll give you, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
We have a few schools at our disposal. We have a portable speed sign, you can probably see residents and things like that, communicating radar. We also have an actual stop sign or speed limit sign that we can hold to the poles in the neighborhood, record speeds, gives my officers a better idea of when the speed is occurring. You gotta let the data look at it, so I'm not wasting the taxpayer dollars. There's officers out there, there's real cars out there, so that's another one. We also have traffic count. So, the foremost that I'm going to traffic roads is being cut through street for the county. It's also the residents. They're going to get stopped. Residents will be issued tickets. And so if they're going speeding in that area, we're not care about our own children that are out there playing as well. I'm aware sometimes the speed looks a little faster with those traffic, but it is to the site. So we'll put our speed counter sign out there. We'll get the data back within a week or two. And we'll deploy officers out there as well. And I'd like everybody at any time to email myself through the website, whenever we have an extra safety officers, some videos as well, and we'll talk to the issue.
And in fairness to the chief, I know that we had a speeding problem on Main Street. And there's a couple times that I rode through Main Street and there's been cops sitting there, so sometimes understanding that the presence itself is a deterrent, so he's been doing a great job with that, so thank you. 8th grade graduation situation, fairly, I think these dates were established in January, and because the primaries were last week, we couldn't do last Tuesday and we had to do this Tuesday, and then why we didn't want to kick it down the road, obviously we had a personnel issue, and I don't think it was fair to everyone involved in the personnel to kick that can down the road either. We wanted to make sure that we addressed it and got it out, got it completed in a reasonable time. So, I mean, that may not be the answer that you love, but that is the reason why, and that is the answer. With that being said, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Oh, that's not the building.
What?
That's not the building.